listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. Yeah. I want you, yeah, bet I wanna shoot like a hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a blue. Yeah. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. Yeah. I want you, yeah, I wanna shoot. Girl, you too bad for me not to press you, yeah. Young fly nigga, I don't follow all these rules, yeah. Bitch, I'm making tunes, I ain't missing, I won't lose. Let's go to an island where the water around is blue, blue, blue. I got two bad bitches in the coupe, coupe, coupe. 42 in the bottle, glasses on full too. Ain't no games, I ain't playing, I want you, yeah. Take a trip, let's go shopping, I got blues, yeah. We got options you can choose. Yeah, you want it, I can buy it, ain't no rules, yeah. I'm just saying, let me help you upgrade you, yeah. Fuck that nigga, he don't care about you, yeah. Girl, move on. He can't treat you like I do, my money too long. I got homies for your friends and we can group on. We are early, hit our shot like Curry. Bitch, I wanna shoot, shoot, shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a blue. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, bet I wanna shoot, shoot, shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a blue. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, I wanna shoot, yeah. What's the move with you? Where you move it? I'm sticking like some glue with you. Got you doing all the things he never do with you. Got this smile and the vibe is something new with you. We can take a jet back, an island set back, counting cash in the bumblebee, a yellow drop vet. I've been doing a lot of shit that they never tried yet. Have your ice real frozen, you might get frostbit. Yeah, I just wanna do the dash. I'ma always put you first, never put you last. Way you shake that ass made me wanna throw some cash. Girl, you way too bad, throw that nigga in the trash. You know I'm gon' shoot, shoot, shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a blue. Don't listen to friends, they don't know what's best for you. I want you, yeah, bet I wanna shoot, shoot, shoot like hoops while I'm riding in the coupe. I got what you want, it ain't nothing but a blue. Don't listen to friends.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know.
Let's go racing! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monday Night Mayhem live on MRL Broadcasting. It's me, Mean Gene Money, the voice of MRL, and I'm here live in Chicagoland with my tag team partner, Zach Panzarella, and it is time. All the cards are on the table. It's 0 hour. Doomsday, no more chances. It's the finale of season 4, week 12 of our 12 race season. Playoffs are looming, and if you're not already in, you are sweating bullets and your butthole is tighter than a frog's butthole, thinking, how am I gonna make it happen? Zach, can you feel the pressure? It's palpable, my friend.
Oh, I feel the pressure, me and Gene. It doesn't get much more intense than this, and we are at one of the best racetracks to host a race with the stakes this high. Chicagoland, a place that, oh man, if you're a NASCAR fan, you miss this place, and this place holds a dear spot in your heart. And with only 6 points separating first and second place to decide our regular season championship, and 16 bonus points that you get to bank with you and take with you to the playoffs, everything is on the line today, and we're not even talking about the bottom of this and the 12 guys from about 8 to 12, or really 8 to 15, who want their chance at a MRL Cup Series championship.
Yeah, big news coming out of last weekend at Indianapolis, of course. Tony Iverson, with that win, punches his ticket, guaranteed a spot in the finale. 21 drivers showed up at Indy. Loved seeing that kind of output. Playoff picture, though. Colin Bollinger receives a 5-point penalty last week. That's right, because of incidents on the track. Colin gets popped for 5. So instead of just being 1 back, he's actually 6 back. Joe Volpes is 21 points back. Those are the 3 guys we're eyeballing for the regular season championship. Other big news, Alex Hillman makes his 9th start today. Remember, Alex picked up his first win of the year, and now with his 9th start, guarantees his spot. That means there's folks fighting for that playoff picture, and we've got a lot of them on the track today. 6 guys could get in on points, 9 with a win in your in situation. Zach, looks like qualifying's done, and oh, no surprise, the Godfather, David Owens, making himself known again.
David Owens trying to take home that regular season championship, and like you talked about, me and Gene, on that grid we saw, and the reason why that wasn't updated is because Bollinger learned today that he was not going to be qualifying, that he had that 5-point penalty. All he heard when he woke up this morning, he thought it was only going to be 1 point separating him and David Owens, but it is 6. And Owens starting things off the right way, knowing that his opponent for the regular season championship cannot qualify today. So how do you make the best of that situation? You put that thing on the pole. David Owens grabbing the pole today with Kyle Lynott, one of his teammates, right there next to him, and it's a 1-2-3 Gulf Coast Racing grid here with Joseph Volpis, yesterday's winner in the BRL in 3rd place. 4th place from the Jack Sanders. 5th, Eric Thornton. 6th, Bryson Dotson. 7th, Michael Mata. 8th, Jack Staval. 9th, Steve Lewis. And round out the top 10 is Jay Stinson.
Hey, good to see Jay Stinson back on the course. Also, hey, how about this? Buddy Sully making an appearance. High side hustler himself, last year's winner, going to start 11th. Jose Medina, 12th. Nick Mazza going to start in 13th. Alex Hillman, 14th. Welcome back, Alex. Tony Iverson, 15th. Tony did win here last year. Maybe it could be back-to-back. John Beverly going to start in 16th place. Matt Novella, 17. Current cutoff driver Sean Walton is going to start in 18th. Richard Swingle, 19th. Brandon Guerin, 20th. And that is your top 5 rows.
Yes, and then rounding out the rest of this field is going to be Hunter Hall. And then from this point on, drivers who did not put down a qualifying lap. And we've seen Colin Bollinger oftentimes this season choose not to qualify. Was not up to him today. He will be starting 22nd place, trying to drive through the field and get himself that regular season championship. Behind him will be, as always, making our jobs as difficult as possible, Andrew Bollinger. And 24th, Kevin Kyle. And then rounding out this 25-car field will be Dylan Tibbetts, as we have extended this caution for 1 lap. So we have one more time around here, me and Gene, and then we will be underway to crown a regular season champion. How pumped are you right now?
I can't believe this is about to go down right now. I mean, look at this thing. Medina, 49 points above the line. Novella, 37 above. Sanders, 21 above. Those guys could win or have a good run, and they're in. Sean Walton, he is the cutoff line. Jonathan Casabier, 3 points out of it. No shows tonight. Not good for his team. Hunter Hall, 6 points behind. Duval, 9 behind. Eric Thornton and Steve Lewis, 14 behind. This thing is out of control. Can't wait to see so much on the line here today. I mean, you got to fish bait, fish or cut bait. You got to poop or get off the toilet. You can't hold anything back. And up in the front to see Owens and Kyle Lynott side by side. Remember, Lynott was there with Volpis Sunday when Volpis got that win. So Lynott hungry. Owens coming off what? The electricity going out on his wheel last week. So he's also hungry.
Yesterday, 24 hours ago. And last week.
It was the wheel, and last week it was the pedals. Here we go. Pace car's out of the way. We're waiting on the green flag to get us going. There's that green flag. David Owens is going to lead us into turn 1. We're live here at Chicagoland. The regular season finale. All the chips are on the table. David Owens with a great start. He's going to fade up, take that preferred line, and get that great angle coming down into turn 1. He's got Volpis and Thornton behind him. Kyle it up, riding up high. Not the best line, going to lose some positions. David Owens going to take him to the backstretch down into 3. Joe Volpis fades side by side. You see Lynott, Thornton behind him. Thornton trying to make the inside work. Lynott making the outside work. David Owens is going to bring it through the Geico restart zone, and Owens leads lap number 1.
Picture perfect restart from our points leader of the 11 at David Owens, doing everything he has to under the lights here at Chicagoland. A very smooth restart from a racetrack that I think we're going to see a lot of action out of today, me and Gene. This place welcomes 3-wide racing. It is multi-line. When this place was not demolished in real life, it was race car drivers' favorite place to visit. And that is why, as we're already starting to see, drivers start to get comfortable, find their lines. I think with us racing under the lights here at nighttime, me and Gene, there's going to be an abundance of grip available for these guys.
Speaking of grip, look at Lynott making that outside work. He has been committed to that the first 3 laps, and it has gotten him side by side with David Owens. The tires are warmed up, and Lynott can push a little bit harder. Lynott looks like he's going to take the lead. Going around to the back stretch here. Going to take it through 3 and 4. Now look at the lead Lynott has coming down the front stretch, and it's Kyle Lynott's turn to lead a lap. David Owens fighting, but Thornton's also using that outside. And look at the other fellas. Volpus has to make a decision, and right behind him, Michael Mata is probably thinking about that outside lane as well.
So this is going to be a really fun thing to cover throughout the race today, Mean Gene, is the use of that outside lane and how much that affects tire wear. As we can already see from the 988 of Kyle Lynott using that to take the lead with a brilliant move around David Owens. But also Owens, obviously a smart race car driver, knowing what was happening around him and not being interested in trying to defend there. And I think what he's thinking is use up tire on that outside. So let's keep our eye on Lynott now. Let's see where he wants to go now that he has the lead. Still running a little bit higher than the cars around him, as is Thornton, while Owens more committed to that bottom. Now is the time to be the guinea pig and find out if this can work and not get caught with your pants down in the last stage of this race. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on Lynott here, Mean Gene, and seeing if this outside lane works, because, man, if it does, there's few things as fun as ripping the top.
Another guy ripping the top right now, Buddy Sully. Buddy Sully turned the 3rd fastest lap, only behind Lynott and Thornton. Sully using the outside as well has now moved up 6 positions into that 5th spot. So, like you said, early on, it is that outside lane showing immense speed. But when will the tires wear out? Steve Lewis now making use of that outside lane right behind Buddy Sully. Louis in the battle, just 14 points behind Sean Walton. He needs a big here today for the 88. So many drivers with so much on the line. And I'm looking at this thing right now. I know we're early on, Zach, but here on lap 7, that outside lane just appears to be a tad quicker, and people are passing. Oof. Look at now, Buddy Sully
yes,
coming
sir.
up around David Owens. That outside lane is on fuego.
Man, I love that. Buddy Sully ripping the Larson line. That was a piece of paper between him and that outside wall, and you saw that closing speed and that exit speed that gave that 21 race car. Buddy Sully qualified out to the top 10 for this race, Mean Gene, and here he is now in 3rd place. And you're right, it's all because of the top lane. And what I'm loving about this as a race car driver and also commentator, and I'm a little bit envious of these boys right now, is normally when you're at a track like this, you know, kind of like what people like to call these cookie cutter 1.5 miles, that outside lane, you will see that will take 20, 15 laps to come in at a place like Kansas, Vegas, anywhere like that. But here we are at Chicagoland. We saw Kyle Lynott take the lead using the top and on lap 3, and here we are. And also what I'm loving just as much, I'm going to bring it back to the 11 of Owens here. He doesn't care. He knows what's happening. He has been passed on the outside for all 3 of those positions he's given up, and it has not been enough to convince him to move up there. So I am fascinated by this, Mean Gene. I think we're in for a fun chess match of a race today.
Yeah, and right now I can hear it on the radio, listening in. Right now, David Owens is asking, where is the 53? Where is Bollinger? Right now, the crew is telling him Bollinger back in 23rd. So Owens content to just lay it down and help his Gulf Coast teammate or help his teammates. Speaking of teammates, look at the high side hustlers. They're back. Eric Thornton is showing up. He's 2nd. Buddy Sully showing up 3rd. David Owens in 4th. That's 3 of the 4 high side hustlers. Tony Iverson won last year in 13th. So this team, the Axis of Evil, finally has all the seats full at their round table.
I thought we'd be talking about them a lot more this regular season, didn't you, Mean Gene? But I mean, better late than never, right? Because here we are with Eric Thornton taking the lead around Kyle Lynott using an outside lane, and his teammate is following him around on the other axis of evil. It's as Buddy Sully, and that is the risk of the outside lane collecting the wall a little bit there on entry. That's not going to damage the race car, but it certainly isn't going to speed it up either, as you see Kyle Lynott trying to take advantage of that, shorten the racetrack and go all the way down the apron. Beautifully done by the 988 there of Lynott. But even with that wall hit, Mean Gene, because it didn't deter him much, I have my eye on that. Oh, boy, that was sketchy. Oh, gosh. That 21 race car of Buddy Sully.
Hot, right?
Yeah, and
the tires got to be hot.
Very, very interesting, too, watching Kyle Lynott kind of getting tight on exit there, isn't he? I don't think he meant to throw that block on Buddy Sully. I don't think that was a block. I think that was him getting tight on exit and just saying, I'm sorry, 21. I'm coming all the way up, and I have no choice. So if that is that 988, one of the first car we saw try to take advantage of that top line, already seeing the negative effects of that. Oh boy, we are about to see some comers and goers like we have not all year, Mean Gene. This is going to be a lot of fun.
And I tell you what, that first group, you got Thornton, Lanai, Buddy Sully up front. But yeah, look at that second group right now. David Owens leading that group. Joe Volpus behind him. Bobby Dodson going to start running that outside lane when he gets that opportunity. And if we could get a close-up on that 32 for just a moment, 32, that entire MC Motorsports team running an interesting scheme. David Owens had a little conflict with MC Motorsports, thinking they were fast, decided that he was going to call them Rick Ware Racing. And look at that 32 paint scheme.
I like that choice.
He doubled down, and he is running that gorgeous Rick Ware paint scheme.
That Nerdtech paint scheme.
Where's Mata? Mata's on a 9. If we could get a close-up of the Michael Mata number 9 car, they went all in with this Rick Ware scheme. And right now, the 8 of Quesabir also parked with his Rick Ware.
Where's Quesabir? I can't do this, but where's Quesabir?
No, yeah, he's
he didn't.
He didn't start it. But still, bravo to them for coming through with their strong paint scheme choices here today in response to David Owens.
Free advertising for Jacob and Nerdtech.
Meanwhile, a little bit of activity. Looks like Jax Duvall has gotten by David Owens. Duvall now taking over the lead of that second group. And speaking of paint schemes, let's take a look at that number 84.
Oh,
close up right there. Bam!
The voice of MRL, Mean Gene Money. And is that my name on the other side? Is that my name on the other side of that car?
On the other side, we got another name.
Oh.
He got closer to the camera. He must have known we were talking about
He did. Oh, it says Zach on track. I'm blushing, Jax. That's so sweet. Yeah. Honestly, that means a ton.
Richard Swingle coming through with the paint jobs there. Richard Swingle.
Take a look at Swingle as well.
He is also in an identical car. You can see right there behind Colin Bollinger. And there it is, the 97 as well, running the VRN announcer car.
Wow.
So thank you so much, Richard, for hooking that up. Those cars are sweet.
That genuinely means a lot. Really does. I'm blushing, and that's so cool, Mean Gene. You never know. Like, we work our butts off to get these guys the best product because it's what they deserve, and they come and they show up week in, week out, and I can tell you from a broadcaster perspective, you just never know how these guys feel about you and if we're making, their experiences better. And so stuff like that, it genuinely means so much. So thank you so much, Richard and Jax, for real. Super cool.
Good looking out, boys. Yeah, it is. I love it. So back up front, Eric Thornton still holding off Kyle Lynott. Lynott's tires have cooled down now, and he is back in the hunt trying to get after him. Buddy Sully, he's now in cool-down mode as well, trying to catch up, but those three cars have just pulled away. Meanwhile, Owens did get by Jax Duvall, and now Joe Volpus trying to make use of that outside lane. That place is a hot mess. You can see Tony Iverson is in that group of cars, Bobby Dodson, Michael Mata, Steve Lewis. So all kinds of business going on there right now. And hey, look, Dodson and Mata together, those are teammates. The 32 and the 16 almost side by side there. Hopefully they'll be aware of each other, but we'll just have to see. And who is that sneaking up behind Lewis? Looks like Jay Stinson. That's another MC Motorsport guy.
Jay Stinson joined the party here, and David Owens, curiously, now going to the top. So let's keep our eye on that 11. I've talked about that a lot in past races, Mean Gene. If you know the top is where the speed is, wow, if you can hold off and not lose too many positions, which Owens did not. He's only in 4th place right now. That is certainly not that bad. Sorry, guys. I don't know what. There we go. So you can keep up as soon as we can see. Exactly. So now
he's just been running a smooth run.
Exactly. So if the top is, oh my goodness, that was an insane come down there by the Rick Ware racing car of Michael Mata. as the extends and oh my gosh, Nurkic and Tony Everson go 3 wide. I will say one medication there is one that would be very useful here, and that's that Nurtec. I'm not sure if you've ever used Nurtec, Mean Gene. It's a migraine medicine, and it's very good. It works very well. Extends, not sure how useful that would be.
I'm going to probably use the Joe Volpus medication.
Not right now, though. I mean, I'd say in this situation, I would need Nurtec before I need Extends. But hey, maybe that gives Joe Volpus the energy that he needs and the confidence that he needs to make big deal moves.
I mean, as long as we don't go more than 4 hours, we're good.
Yeah, exactly. Or else he's going to have to make a few phone calls. And then we'll see the helicopter going up for a new reason, the medical helicopter. But
I'd make a phone call, but it'd be to the news station to brag.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, we got to start taking this a little bit more. We got to get on track. David Owens is going to the top now, and what that does, and he's doing a great job up there, Mean Gene, is he's watching, Thornton Lynott and Solly make passes on him and drive away on the top while he has the discipline to not bite and stay on the bottom. And if it did save tires the way that Owens, I believe, is at least, again, guinea pigging right now and finding out if it does, this is where you make up the time. I tell my team this a lot when I'm coaching my guys is in the beginning of a run, if you find a line that's faster than everybody else, maybe you're going to find 2/10, 3/10 extra a lap. If you screw it up and you are on old tires and you burn your stuff up, we're talking 5/10 to a second off later in that run. It is more important to protect your stuff, in my opinion, than it is to find that trap position early on in runs like this. So that 11 car now going to be our new guinea pig, as Lynott was the first one. So 988 and the 11. Let's see what happens. And doesn't hurt that they're also ex-teammates and are very comfortable working together, Mean Gene.
Last lap, Owens was 0.4 of a second faster than Sully, and he was the same speed as Thornton and Lynott. This lap, you can actually see him 0.4 of a second again faster than Sully and 0.2 of a second faster than Thornton and Lynott. And there it is. Owens going to put that move on Buddy Sully and zip right on by. He's making that bottom line work. Outside lane getting a little bit precarious. I imagine these guys are worried about plowing up into the wall now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're starting to see these things get a little bit tighter. I mean, not to mention the dirty air absolutely playing a role. We saw how hectic that little group got there between about Owens all the way back to, I want to say 12th place maybe, was just all up on each other's stuff. But luckily, like we've talked about, enough lines available here to where you can find that clean air. But look at this, that 21 of Buddy Sully starting to fade, Mean Gene. He is getting passed for 5th place right now. This guy drove from 11th to 3rd place, 11th to 2nd really, had a chance at that lead. And wow, this was one of the things we speculated about, and it's happening right in front of our eyes. And let's go up front to the lead real quick. Look how close this is getting.
Yeah, you can see Lynott. He's been trying to go below Eric Thornton the last couple of laps. Now Thornton going down below to cut him off. Perhaps we're going to see Lynott try that out top line. But did you see the entry right there when Lynott went in? That car wiggled. That thing is a little bit off. That dirty air is a problem, and those tires are getting a little bit warm. You can see right there going into that how Lynott has to be very cautious to stay right in that stream, or that dirty air is just going to cause a huge mess of mistakes for him. Meanwhile, David Owens has cut that 2.5 second gap down to 1.09. Owens now.
Oh, caution's out, Mean Gene. Caution's out.
No.
It was in the danger
Was it
zone.
Racing?
It may have been. I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Mean Gene? Let's go take a look at this one. I'm seeing a few Rick Ware drivers on my screen. I'm kidding. It actually isn't Rick Ware. Oh! Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Let's hit that play button. Here we go. So
Here we go.
we have Cody.
On the 32.
We have
Tight.
Cody Ware on the inside of Joe Volpus here. Cody's gonna get a little bit tight. Oh, I see Sully into the wall as well. Watch the checkup from the 21 there, that green car on the top of your screen. This wreck was traced back to Dodson in the 32 on my software. So that's the car to keep your eye on. And okay, so keep your eye on the 07 here, shooting the middle here on Buddy Sully. And here comes Jack's coming up. Not a ton of room. Oh, I think we're about to see it, Mean Gene. Let's see here. We are 3 wide entering 1. Oh, Tony Iverson gets into the 32 of Dodson.
He got him.
Oh! It's our...
He did it.
We did it.
He took a bite.
It didn't take long at all. Hit it. Yes, sir.
Oh, my word. Iverson taps into the 2, and Stinson takes a bite.
Nom nom for us. Me and Shane.
Medium rare. It is right into the 32. Not how the 32 wanted his day to begin. Bobby Dodson. Everybody in the pits right now, though, getting a little bit of care, TLC, to their cars right now. Bobby Dodson, remember, not enough starts in the year to be a contender. Tony Iverson is in because of the win that he had last year. That is a fantastic.
Did you see that shot? Oh my God, that shot.
That was
Jeez.
right there. That was like a drone.
Jared Kelly up in the stands getting us those shots. That was, woo. That was.
He's flying around like Homelander.
That's what to expect from VRN next season, ladies and gentlemen. We are flexing our muscle a little bit right now to show you guys that production value. That was sexy. I'm not gonna lie. Almost as sexy as that strategy from David Owens. I'm having a little bit of PTSD from Thursday night, Mean Gene, because that Zach Panzarella guy couldn't do the long run to save his damn life. And
he wore those tires out.
Geez, he did. Oh, you should have seen them in the pits.
Wore those tires out. Speaking of in the pits, Bobby Dodson is still down there trying to get his car dealt with. Remember, the boys do have a fast repair, but Bobby Dodson trying to keep it in his pocket, you know, kind of like having an ace in your sleeve. And right now, the 32 Chevrolet driver is trying to do that. Meanwhile, everybody else did take an opportunity to pit, and now they are going to put Dodson a lap down. Ooh, I hope everything's okay down there with that MC Motorsport 32 Chevrolet. Kyle Lynott being shown as your leader. David Owens going to be next to him. Michael Mata is running third. Eric Thurton fourth. Jax Duvall fifth. Colin Bollinger has moved his way up 16 spots. Now being shown in the third row. Joe Volpus, Buddy Sully in the fourth row, and Tony Iverson and Steve Lewis in the fifth row. So we got some movers and shakers right now. But you know, Swingle, Guerin, those guys got to win. Meanwhile, Lewis and Thornton, 14 points back. I feel like that's kind of a must-win. I mean, you need a bad day out of Sean Walton if you think you're going to get that. Sean Walton right now in 13th place. Looks like he's avoiding the Walton troubles that he usually has so far, but we're still early in, yeah?
Yeah, we definitely are, and I mean, while we are early, I mean, I would not gloss over Bollinger already being in 6th place as we are green, Mean Gene. I forgot how quick the restart zone happens here.
Oh, yeah, I love to cut it out. So Kyle Lynott, he was on the inside control car, got a great start. Outside row is going to be a hard push from teammates Owens and Thornton. Michael Mata on the inside now, side by side with David Owens. Kyle Lynott in control. Owens using the outside. Jax Duvall gets loose, slams down to the inside. Everybody on new tires. Be careful, boys. Lynott, your leader, starting to pace away. 5 car length lead, making that outside work just like he did in the beginning of the race. Gun could be clean through 3, cuts down in 4 on the front stretch, and it's going to be Kyle Lynott leading lap number 34.
Check this out, just how intense this is from the cockpit of a driver on board here. Oh, no! Iverson goes around. Let's take a look at this one, ladies and gentlemen. That happened quick, and you told him to be careful, Mean Gene, and you weren't talking, you weren't blowing steam up.
Iverson and Buddy Sully.
Here we go. This is the replay. Tony Iverson looking in the middle, down that dog leg, and it's actually Jax Duvall. And oh my goodness, up into Buddy Sully, and that might be it for Buddy Sully today. Oh man.
Defending champion from last year. Remember, he had that shoulder surgery, and that took him out of the regular season run and not enough starts for playoffs. Buddy Sully been focusing on the production of the Vortex Racing Network while that shoulder is healing. Buddy, though, almost back up to 100%. And you can see here, Iverson comes up, Duvall under no obligation to help him up, and Iverson just gets right into Buddy Sully. And Steve Lewis right now, what a move to avoid the disaster.
Yeah, Lewis with some great wreck avoidance there, and yeah, I mean, you normally don't see that type of stuff from, or that move that Duvall did until later in the race, where, yeah, like you said, me and Gene, you were not lying. You were not under any obligation, legally or morally, to let Iverson back onto the track there, and Duvall didn't. Normally, in my opinion, you don't see that until later in the race, right? 5 to go, or sub 5 to go, and someone makes that move, you're like, oh, well, that's your problem now, buddy. But oh god, Buddy Sully's back out, so I have to stop using Buddy to describe people not named Buddy Sully, me and Gene. But anyway, I know, right? That was an aggressive move from both drivers. I'm wondering if maybe there was something early in the race that may have, kind of led to that a little bit. But nonetheless, not to start this race that Tony Iverson needs, and more important than that, not making friends as we go into the playoffs, a time where friends are good to have.
Did you see what just happened? Iverson, Vulpes, Guerin, and Beverly deciding to top up.
There they are.
No need for them to go in. That is a strategy move. Joe Vulpes, we watched him Sunday pit early or pit late, thinking it would hurt his tires. And then this time we see him pitting early. Never can figure out what's going through the mind of Joe Vulpes, but he hoisted that trophy yesterday at Bonfire, so maybe he's already counting backwards. Who knows?
I wonder if you throw some extends in that gas tank, if it makes the fuel go for 4 hours longer.
No, you put it in the fuel line, and then it get the Logano fuel line. That's extra.
That's what he's doing.
And a half in it.
That's what he's doing. I knew it was something.
Right. Meanwhile, up front, you can see former teammates Kyle Lynott representing the East Coast Alliance. The Gulf Coast Racing doing business as East Coast Alliance. David Owens side by side with him. Eric Thornton, Michael Mata in the second row. Bollinger still in the third row with Jax Duvall there. Steve Lewis, Jose Medina moving up, and Sean Walton and Matt Novella. So a lot of guys trying to point their way in right now in close proximity. Hopefully, we'll not see too much more of that foolishness. Also, looks like Jay Stinson took it to the trailer.
Ooh, yeah, Jay Stinson involved in 2 early wrecks there. Those fast repairs, they can disappear quickly, can't they, Mean Gene?
And Buddy Sully is still down there parked looking at it. Bob Dotson back on the track, but now it looks like Buddy's got it rolling again, hopefully, but he is being shown a lap down.
No surprise there from Buddy Sully, involved in both of those incidents. It's going to be a long day for that 21 car. We might get some company in the booth a little bit earlier than we expected, Mean Gene, if the night continues to go that way for Buddy Sully.
That's right. He came in there and he said, put tires on it. They said the race is over. He said, put tires on it. Well, it'll be interesting to see. All right, so the pace car is out of the way. Kyle Lynott on the outside, going to be your lead car. And there he goes. Great jump. Owens with a slow start gets Thornton right in his tailpipe for his effort. Outside lane working for that 988 of Kyle Lynott. Here comes Michael Mata on the outside. Mata side by side with Owens for second place. Behind them, Duvall side by side with Thornton. But it's Kyle Lynott right now taking it down that backstretch into turn number 3. Here comes Michael Mata with a head full of steam. He's got Jax Duvall pushing him. Great move by Lynott to hold that outside lane. It's Lynott and Mata on the outside. Owens is on the inside, and now that is Kyle Lynott. He's going to lead another lap.
Kyle Lynott just putting on a show tonight. Tons of speed in the 988 car. Long run, short run, doesn't matter. He's been the only one who we've really seen able to make it work. But that 84 of Duvall, that Mean Gene money car, coming up in third place, using that outside line early. We've seen the benefits of that, and just using that camera angle right there. Look how close on entry these guys are to that wall. Really trying to use all of this racetrack and get as much speed pent up as they can. And man, how awesome of a racetrack is Chicagoland. There is not an ounce of pavement you can't use that cannot be beneficial to you at this place, and these guys are using all of it.
I'll tell you what, speaking of all of it, we just saw 3 Wide Racing. Sean Walton, Alex Hillman, Colin Bollinger.
Look at this.
Right now, Walton is in the middle trying to give that 56 of Brandon Guerin a push. Walton's got no friends in that group. He has got the testicular fortitude of a Roman gladiator driving the way that he is right now. Walton needs a safe run to get into the playoffs, but here he is fighting as hard as he can. 8th place, trying to take it up further in that beautiful number 23 Toyota.
Yeah, this is like really the hornet's nest right here. So much going on. You know, Bollinger as well just wants to work through this field and start points racing to have a chance against David Owens at that regular season championship. Not to mention where you're closing in on the halfway point of this race. I do not know what one half of 135 is. I'll have to bring up my calculator at some point, but I know it's getting close. So you know that Bollinger needs to start focusing on a little bit of points racing here and give himself a shot at the end. But man, easier said than done. Look at that. Swingle shoots the middle right there, creating a 3-wide situation. Okay with being the meat in the sandwich, and he makes it work, getting a 2-for-1 special right there. And that just goes to show with good entry, good lines, and really backing these corners up and knowing how you want to attack them can be so beneficial here. As you see Owens, Novella, extremely close on exit there.
Ooh, right there, contact between Medina and Michael Mata. Walton made his way through that group. He now leads that second group, but the drivers behind him are banging it together. Jose Medina making that outside lane work. Medina, he is the top guy with no wins in 7th. 49 points above that cut line. He doesn't care about points. He just wants to win, and he's showing it right now. Jose Medina by Walton into 4th place. Side by side, you can see the 56 of Novella there with Michael Mata. Owens behind him, and Steve Lewis, the captain, giving it a run.
This whole field right now is going for it, and the comers and goers through it are unbelievable. It's almost plate track racing in terms of how quickly you can lose 5 or 6 spots. And look who's also joined the party, not afraid to make it 3 wide. That's Tony Iverson, the 13 car on the inside of Alex Hillman and Jack Sanders there.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word.
Yeah, he is. Wherever that 13 will fit is where Iverson is willing to go, and he's going to make it work there and get 2 spots. But oh my goodness, it is unbelievably intense here. And I also think, to complicate the situation even further, me and Gene, I would be hard-pressed to say they are not different tire situations here, especially with that 13 car who was just in an incident, got to bring it down. Why not put a set of 4 in it? Look at him and look how much speed that 13 has as he works through his field here, which with what I'm presuming are far fresher tires. 3 wide again, entering pre-turn.
Oh, my word. That's Jack Sanders on the outside with him trying to keep it down. Finally, Iverson gets through and alleviates that pain just a little bit. Let Steve Lewis back down, but Lewis was in a compromised position. But Captain Crunch got her done and kept it going forward. These boys are racing hard. You wouldn't think it's point racing. You think it's all or nothing at this point. I mean, this is the river, right? We're turning. There's no cards left to play. It's just about betting and staring each other down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All chips are on the table right now. You are all in at this point in the season. These guys are racing like it. That's the 3rd straight time we have gone 3 wide into 3 and 4 right there. That time it was Garand in the 3 of, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting 3's name right now. I apologize.
We know who you are, Nick Mazza.
Yeah, Nick Mazza. Oh, that's why, because Nick Mazza is somewhat new here. But Nick Mazza right there was also the meat in that sandwich right there. And just look how close these guys are on entry and exit right here. Jack Sanders right here in the middle of this pack in that Garage 56 number 25 car. That's my favorite car in the field today. Well, second favorite. Gonna have to be biased with the one with my name on it. But I'm loving that 25 paint scheme too.
All right, up front, Kyle the Nut still holding this off, but look at Duvall and Thornton with that battle. Now remember, Jax Duvall, this will be his 9th start. A win for Jax Duvall, and he could push his way into the playoffs. Jax Duvall was one of the championship drivers last year. Not a surprise to see the 84 VRN Ford up there in the front. Thornton as well, though. This guy needs a win to be in. Kyle Lynott, he's already in. What's he thinking? He's thinking, I want another win. I want that KK Woodwork trophy to put above my head.
Yep, when you are in a position like Kyle Lynott is, it doesn't matter. You could have won every race this season. I want this one too. I want a trophy. Kyle Lynott, notoriously in Kyle Lynott fashion, doing the little IndyCar brake drafting down the front stretches and rear stretch of this track right now. Lynott, uniquely one of the only drivers who does that, and that is a polarizing move. Some people don't believe it works as well in iRacing as it does in real life, but it works for Kyle Lynott. And here we are here in this insane pack again with Mata and the 27 of Kevin Kyle bowing out, and David Owens, who had the fastest single lap speed, put it on the pole, has really not shown a whole ton, Mean Gene, since then. I liked his long run speed on that first run, but it's going to be a lot harder for your long run speed to matter if you're in 9th place when it kicks in, and it's not getting any better as his teammate looks to the inside.
We have plenty of time. We're plenty of time. I mean, 68 is going to be the cut. So they got 17 laps until the halfway point of this thing. Owens is got to be comfortable. He's got 6 points ahead of Colin Bollinger. Bollinger in 20th. So Owens, he's happy to just cruise around at this point. It's the other guys. And speaking of, the guy that gets the hell no award today, Andrew Bolander, running in 21st place. I see him smoking down there. He knows he's in the playoffs. That's that number 8 Toyota. He's like, oh, hell no. I am not getting involved in anything you boys are doing. If he's there to win it at the end, I bet he does. But right now, nothing's going to stand between Andrew and a good day of making it to the final 12.
Mean Gene, we've talked so much about it. We actually just covered a race at Atlanta yesterday where you see just insane racing, and you see guys look at that who are in the pack and say, you know what? You boys have fun. I'll see you later. I'm going to go back in 20th place, and I'll deal with it once you guys all wreck. You don't often see that at a mile and a half, but here we are at Chicagoland, and I think that's exactly what happened. Bolander and Bollinger both seeing the energy of this pack and saying, never mind. I'll wait.
I wouldn't want to do that because so many guys have to win. Lewis has to win. Brandon Guerin has to win. Thornton, Duvall, Hunter Hall has to win. Hunter Hall running in 18th right now. How long do you think that guy's going to be patient?
Yeah, you're so right, Mean Gene. And with the win you're in system that we have here in MRL, oh, there we go, 57 to Guerin. Don't scare me like that. But
Wiggle.
Wiggle and Blinky as well. But yeah, you were so right. And wow, as you look up front, we have a three-way battle for the lead. Still, these guys not letting anyone escape from one another. But you're right, a win here would be so big, lock you into the playoffs, give you those 5 bonus points that come with that win, and really give you not just a lock spot, but a good situation going into these playoffs, as a lot of these boys, I think, will be pointing into them as well. So you'll be ahead of them going in. So yeah, a win here would be massive. And as you can see from the type of racing we're out here, it's anyone's game. Is it not, Mean Gene? I don't mean to disrespect Chicagoland by using plate track analogies. It's more about just the intensity and the line availability and the comers and goers.
And these cars.
And these next gens. You're so right.
Want to do that.
You're so right about that.
Well, I'll tell you what. Sean Walton, still in 4th, leader of that second group. 2.5 seconds back. Now it's 2.3. Trying to make it work. The racing up front has helped him. Duvall, Thornton, trying to battle and catch up to Lynott. These guys using that outside lane. We've seen Lynott use it pretty regularly. You got to start wondering what is going to happen with his tires down the road. But right now, Lynott, Duvall, Thornton just in control of this race. Behind them, you can see Walton wants to close that gap. And then Novella and Owens. Novella just needs a smooth day here today. And I'll tell you what, a top 5 would definitely lock him in and make him a happy camper.
Yeah, it absolutely would. It would be plenty to do what he needs to do in this race. I think also, like we talked about, a lot of guys, while they do need to win, a lot of guys also with a different set of priorities, points racing out here today. I know while Hunter Hall, you brought him up, wants that win, he also is on the outside looking in, I believe in 13th place. And it's not just 6 points back, exactly. He is points racing out here today in 19th place. I know that's where he doesn't, or not where he wants to be, but I think he'd be just as satisfied in 9th or 10th as he would be in the lead right now, just wanting enough points to go above his opposition and get a chance at this championship. So the different sets of priorities here, the different agendas are definitely going to start mixing, especially as we get later into this race. And I'm going to break out my calculator now, Mean Gene, so Jax Laval doesn't message me tomorrow and tell me how bad I am at math and do 135 divided by 2.
Just take the shoes off. We can do it. These guys are so close, you can just take the shoes off and do that math.
It's 67.5. It's lap 67.5.
I agree with what you're saying. Right, so we'll call it at 68. I agree with what you're saying about Hall, but unfortunately for Hall, Duvall, Thornton, Lewis, guess what? The guy you're chasing, Sean Walton, he's in 4th.
Yeah.
This is a you gotta win deal right now. And maybe you don't feel that pressure and you don't make those aggressive Tony Iverson-esque moves right now. But after that midway point, you cannot afford to fall out of this draft. You cannot afford to have a bad pit stop. You got to push your luck. And I think we're going to see it as we get closer and closer, especially after this next pit stop. Once they go through this next rotation of pit stops, I think these drivers are going to come out here and we're just, Chad, the flag man. What do you call him, Barney?
Barney, that's his name, yeah.
Yeah, Barney ain't going to sit down.
No.
Barney is going to be standing, and we are going to have a heck of a lot of replays to show on the post-race show inside the Mayhem.
Yes, we will.
Following this race.
Yep, and it's gonna go well this time. And shout out Kevin Kyle for making me feel better and for getting to post his post-race show on Twitch. So I appreciate the moral support, Kevin. You're a great guy.
All right, so up front, Kyle Lynott using the middle of the track, and now Rayshawn Wingfield, Sean Walton, he has cut it down to 1.7, so 2.2 down to 1.7. All right, so I'll tell you what, guys, this action is tight. I've talked a lot. Zach's giving you his input. Let's let the cars do the talking.
Sweet.
So David Owens continuing to make an assault on this group that's being led by Sean Walton. You can see Matt Novella riding that outside lane. Owens using the inside, but these guys are like hornets attacking, trying to figure out. And now look, Michael Mata, he says, hey, I'll drive in the damn grass to get by you fools. Tony Iverson behind him. We've already seen Iverson involved in an early incident. Iverson and Owens are teammates, but there is no allegiance to Michael Mata, a.k.a. Rick Ware Racing, as far as those guys are concerned. And there it is. Look at the disrespect as Iverson just cuts right down on the nose of Mata, trying to go down below his friend. There's, oh, what a drive by Owens to hold that line, Zach.
Yes, it is, Mean Gene, and these guys are racing for it right now, and there are stage points on the line. This is the white flag. I believe at the end of this lap, we will be crowning a stage winner. Right now, Kyle Lynott leading this field with a pretty comfortable lead over Thornton, with Duvall behind him, and there you go, that pack of wild hornets behind them. But Kyle Lynott going to get some much-needed playoff points if he can just hold it on for one more set of corners. Here we go to crown our last stage winner of the regular season. It will be the 988 of Kyle Lynott, second place. Eric Thornton, third. Oh, wow, third, Sean Walton. Are we missing something?
Sean Walton makes it go up in there now. Oh, and look at Novella down below with Iverson. Oh, that got spicy fast. Yeah, I'm in the same thing as you. It looks like Walton, as the former third-place car, Jax Duvall. Who was third?
It was Dodson. There,
Yeah.
Dodson, I believe, pit. There he is. I think Dodson brought it down, Mean Gene. Lap down now. I'm looking at his pit data. No, what?
No, it was Lynott. It was Kyle Lynott.
He's still there. He won the stage.
Lynott, Thornton.
Is that?
Oh, well, let's just move
That's
forward.
what happens when we crank it up.
That's right. The vibrations took my brain to the moon.
They did.
All right, look at Owens now under Sean Walton. Again, no love lost between Sean Walton and pretty much everybody in the field. It's 23 against the world.
Oh, it was Jax
And
Duvall.
that
It was
is-
Jax Duvall. It was this guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He pit. It was Jax Duvall, not Lynott. Duvall brought it down. Sorry to cut you off, Binge, and continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was what I thought initially. All right, so Lynott's still battling up front. And now Duvall took the pit opportunity after that stage. Before that stage ended, actually. Interesting choice, giving up points. Lynott in the lead. Thornton, David Owens now getting by Sean Walton. And here comes the rest of the group. You got to wonder how much more rubber Sean Walton has in those tires after having those guys chase him around that last 20 laps.
Yeah, you're really seeing the adverse effects of, I guess, kind of going early and trying to get your spots then. A big example of that right now would be that number 54 car, Pacifico car of Jose Medina. We saw him all the way up to 4th place in the early run, Mean Gene. We saw him ripping the top, making some gorgeous moves, but here he is, lap 72, about 30 later, paying the price all the way down in 8th place and not making any forward moves, as you actually do see cars in front of him pitting. I believe that was Michael Mata in the Rick Ware racing car. Looks like his
Hillman following him.
Yep, Mr. Rick Ware Sr. telling them, bring it in, boys. We only have 3 sets of tires to our name at all. We got to use them wisely. You know how Rick Ware, they don't have a ton of tires, me and Gene. Small budget.
They got to borrow him.
Small budget over there. Small budget.
Luckily, McLeod's over there loaning out parts.
Yeah. I could say some things
Look
about
at Walton now going to fall victim to Iverson. And Walton is a smart driver. He's giving a wide berth to these guys. Matty Novella now going to be bringing it down into the pits behind Lynott and Thornton. So here come the leaders, and that's going to turn this thing over to David Owens. David Owens going to go ahead and get himself a point at this stage. And look at Walton still trying to keep it close. But if I'm Walton, I'm not getting close to any of these boys the rest of the race. Other guys of note, Joe Vulpes now still on the track, is in 5th. Nick Mazza 6th. Colonel Sanders 7. John Beverly up into the top 10 running 8. Hunter Hall makes
Here
his way
comes
to the
Walton
top 10
and
tonight.
Owens.
And Brandon Garrett.
Oh, no, Sean. If Sean got that thing slowed down, then hats off to the 23 car. He came in there with a head of steam, and he probably made up about a second of time on that 11 of Owens. We'll see if that 23 car is required to revisit the pits after that very hot entry. But if he isn't, very impressive, Mr. Walton. That was very nice.
You know what I like to do there, back when I was running Heat 5 on the console, was I would come in hot like that and tap you right before the line to slow myself down, and then you would get a penalty. It worked. 20% of the time, it worked 100% of the time.
Those are good. Those numbers just don't lie, man. That's just common sense.
No, and I love this camera right now. Look at this amazing drone shot we have going on. This
It's
is
so
good stuff.
sexy, man. I can't get enough of it. It's getting these guys more coverage when they pit because I just love these camera angles so much. Again, shout out Jared Kelly delivering these to us. Expect these at VRN every race, every league, everywhere we go next season. Cannot wait. As Joe Vulpes is going to inherit the lead of this race. Still, I mean, Mr. Vulpes, this guy stretches it out better than, well, I mean, look at the sponsor.
Well, remember, he capped off at the beginning of that run. At the end, remember that last caution, he went ahead and brought it in and got a little more fuel.
Good point.
And Beverly
Good
and
point.
Guerin, and that's how we see those three are the cars that are still on the track. So they're hoping for something to happen. Beverly now on the radio saying that he's going to bring it in. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Vulpes as well. And there he goes. Vulpes going to bring it in, and that's going to rotate the lead.
More awesome
back
camera angles.
around, I believe, to Kyle Lynott.
And let's just drool over this drone shot one more time. Oh no, Beverly, that's not the pit lane. Oh no, did you see that, Mean Gene?
Who was that in the grass?
That was
Beverly.
J Bev. That was our boy J Bev.
Really? I thought he was usually in an orange car.
Today he's in a U.S. Army car, and I guess he was trying to kill 2 birds and do some training and do some crawling through the grass. But in NASCAR, that's a penalty. It did not.
The camo worked. I didn't see him.
It must have for you. We'll see if it does for the iRacing officials.
There, Buddy Sully in the pit as well. Buddy Sully still being shown laps down after his double fiasco.
So now we're really going to learn a lot here, me and Gene. So Brandon Guerin still has to bring it down. I believe he is right. Meow. Yes, he is. There is Guerin. Last car that will complete the cycle. And what that means is we got ourselves a new leader, and there's a very easy reason to understand why. And that is because this guy pit on lap 68, and the car in second place right now, I'd say probably the fastest car on the track today, which is Kyle Lynott, pit 5 laps later, me and Gene. So that was a 4-second delta for Duvall, which I'm probably thinking maybe 5 or 6, because he was behind Lynott before this whole thing started. And he comes out with those 5 laps of fresh tires with a 4-second lead. So now we get to learn about what this is like on the early end of this run, right? And see how quickly that lead evaporates, because it will. Kyle Lynott will be our leader here before we know it. But I think Duvall here can learn something. And if there is another caution, if we do have to pit one more time for fuel, this can very much dictate when you want to bring it in. And this is the perfect time to learn those lessons.
All right, well, here's a big story right now. Directly behind him, you can see the 25 of Jack Sanders. The Colonel needs to get by him and get back on the lead lap. Jack Sanders is in a must-win situation if he would like to continue his season. Actually, he's in 10th, so he's in good shape, but he needs to get back on that lead lap. Other people to worry about. Brandon Guerin, he's being shown a lap down. That's not what Brandon needs. 33 points behind, needing a win to get back into this thing.
So you see Brandon re-entering the track there, next to Lynott, behind Sanders. There it is, Sanders right there behind behind Duvall. Sanders with 8 lap newer tires than Duvall. So this should be a somewhat easy pass, Mean Gene. Obviously, there's somewhat of a speed differential here, with Duvall being a very fast race car, regardless of anything, and Sanders being a lap down nearly on speed. However, this lap differential should give Sanders this opportunity here, but this is very nerve-wracking if you're that 25 race car, not wanting to be any part of the race for the win here, and Duvall under no obligation to give that lap back. But if I'm Duvall, I don't see the incentive of racing this guy, but we'll see what happens here. Jack Sanders, 10th place currently in our points. Like you said, me and Gene, a champion here on the MRL Monday nights. 2 seasons ago, Jack Sanders collecting the championship here.
I tell you what, if I'm Duvall, I let him by and I just draft off the back of him. I'm not going to let that gap. Remember that 4-second gap?
Agree.
It's 3.5 now.
Totally agree.
With Lynott. So I go high just like that. Let him in the front.
Get it, 2 for a bumper. Yep. I mean, you were reading my mind. That's exactly what I would do. This is honestly kind of a gift. I mean, it becomes
a free car to draft.
Exactly, and this could become a detriment if you're not responsible with this. That Sanders car should be faster than you with those 6-lap newer tires, and you should be able to use that to offset your speed differential just by being a very fast car around this racetrack. There goes Duvall, but as you can see, prioritizing that clean air through the corners, but also that 25 may drive away quite fast, me and Gene. So down to 3.2 seconds between him and the 988 of Kyle Lynott.
Well, Kyle Lynott doesn't have help back there. He's a 2.5 seconds ahead of Eric Thornton. So Lynott's doing this on merit. Meanwhile, Thornton dancing back there with the 57 of Guerin and the 01 of Beverly. So Thornton with a little bit of help, but not as much as he would like. Meanwhile, Beverly looking above Guerin. That was a tense moment. I got to ask you this. If you're about to crash and there's 3 cars in front of you, which one do you hit? You hit the 57 of Guerin that has a big red and white target on it. Do you hit the 13 of Tony that literally says "Kill Tony" on the side of it?
Yeah, it tells you what to do.
Or do you crash into Sean Walton? Those are your 3 choices. Who are you going to get?
Sounds like a win-win-win to me, Mean Gene. I don't know.
I tell you what, Venmo me and I'll make mine.
Yeah, sounds like whoever wants to drop the most money in my Venmo account. Nailed it.
Yeah. Or if I just want to make a bunch of friends, you know which one I'm going to be whacking. Meanwhile, this thing has spread out, as we can see, gaps on the track. Fun times, though, involved in that group with David Owens, Michael Mata. You can see how packed together they are. Mata leads that group. Owens is Mata's leading the group.
Yeah, okay.
He's leading the group. Owens behind him.
Glad you heard that.
And how about Alex Hillman? He's moved up into 7th. Hillman, welcome back. Kevin Kyle also, he has qualified. And Sean Walton still lingering, trying to catch that group led by Mata. Winfield in 9th. And that's that cutoff driver right now unless somebody odd wins. And speaking of somebody odd, the Florida man, number 84, Jax Duvall in that VRN Ford, leading this race right now. This is lap 88. We're scheduled to go to 135. I'm getting Charlotte flashbacks. Do you feel it?
I'm getting a little bit of Charlotte flashbacks, except this is a little more raw speed. Yeah, a little more Atlanta than Charlotte. This is some raw speed at that 84 Duvall. Doing a great job even with those older tires, and I think the superstitions thing a little bit true. Drive a VRN car and get to lead some laps and potentially win a race. Because, damn, that logo comes with a little bit of speed, doesn't it, Mean Gene? For me, it was short run speed. But speed nonetheless.
That gap is narrowing. It's down to 2.25. Lynott in chase. Still not getting help as he's got a 2.5 lead over Thornton. And then you got to fade all the way back to that fourth place group where now David Owens has gotten ahead of Michael Mata.
And yeah, as you see, that is a group led by Owens. Behind him, you got Mata, Novella, and then the 08 at Hillman. Want to touch on Hillman real quick. We missed Hillman last week, and we were wondering one driver who has a win this season, but is one race away, this race being that race now, to be eligible for the playoffs. And we were all thinking last week, why isn't Hillman here? This is such an obvious one. Alex Hillman was He was electrocuted last week, Mean Gene.
Yeah, I heard about that. We were talking about traveling to Atlanta to go see the night race, and then he quit talking, and I thought I changed my cologne and everything, but turns out it's just an accident. It's spicy right now, man. Look at the 23 next to the 27. No love lost between those two boys. And Walton driving like he doesn't have a care around Kevin Kyle. Meanwhile, ahead of him, look at Michael Mata slamming in front of the 11, trying to slow the progress of Matt Novella. This group has just been at it all day. There was 7 of them before. Now there's 6. Ooh, Mata just doesn't mind as he Rick Wares his way right in front of the DDI driver of Matt Novella. Novella also, remember, he's driving a Chevrolet now. Good for him.
Yeah, Matt Novella in that 56 Chevrolet in front of his other teammate of Alex Hillman, the 08 Chevrolet. But yeah, happy to see Alex Hillman here. His doctor made the call last week, told him not to drive 240 volts. Oh my goodness! What a slide job by the 23 of Sean Walton coming out of nowhere. That was impressive. He even held the bottom.
Man, the 23 has looked good in real life, and the 23 looking good here today, but he's got some fellas that might have a bone to pick with him in front of him, so he's got to be cautious about the way he does it. He does command that last spot coming in, but if Jax Duvall wins the race, Walton will be on the outside looking in, and you know they're on the radio telling Sean that right now. 84 in the lead, you can't hold back.
Yeah, Sean Walton right now, it's as you see, Owens got to graze the wall and exit there. Sean Walton with slightly newer tires. I mean, Gene, about a lap newer, but the way he's driving and the way he's hitting these corners as he goes to the inside of Novella here, looking for a similar move. He can't quite do the slide job there. No room to slide up in front of Novella. Going to have to try to get it done in 3 and 4.
Owens got him.
Yeah, he did. No, Owens kind of threw him some dirty air there and killed that move there. Novella able to use that and defend that position quite well. But Walton, only with about 1-2 laps fresher tires than the group around him. And man, the way he's driving, you'd swear it's 5 or 6. This guy looks like he's on rails right now. And again, we've talked about this all day. We'll have to see if this is him kind of using his stuff up now, and it's going to come bite him in the rear end later in this run. Maybe why Hillman wasn't hard pressed to even fight back when that aggressive move happened. But look at this by Walton again with gorgeous exit speed. You can see him closing the gap on the 56 in Novella, the daily drivers in Camaro, Shark Reaper, and he's going to use the outside here and likely have another massive run and exit. As oh my gosh, look at Mata and Owens too.
And speaking of using it up, right now Duvall's gap has shut down to 1 second over Lynott, and Thornton has closed the gap as well, and he is right on the tail of Lynott. So you can see to the left barely. Duvall is your leader. Lynott in second. Thornton looking down in that white car is third. And then there's a group of lap cars chilling. That's the 57 of Guerin and the 01 of John Beverly. Side by side. Look like Guerin's going to push Thornton, give him a little bit of urgency. And now that lead, 0.85 seconds.
Brandon Guerin, too, a little bit fresher tires on those, a lap down, trying to use these leaders to get past Duvall when they get to him and get their lap back the hard way. That would definitely really helped their chance of points racing here today. But it is curious how these two lead cars of Lynott and Thornton have taken these lappers with them, and they will be to Duval, and I'm going to go ahead and say 3 or 4 laps time until we have a group of 5 here, 3 of which are in the lead lap battling for the win, and 2 of which are battling to get on the lead lap and have a chance at the win. So that can always become a messy situation. And not to mention, we still have this going on behind these guys. These guys have not let up one bit, still going for it.
No.
And Mata and Owens, I'm keeping my eye on those two, Mean Gene. Those guys are not enjoying each other's company.
And Novella and Walton, because right there, finally, you can see Walton get by. Novella was actually in the front of Mata just a lap ago. So Novella's starting to fade. You can see Owens now under Mata. Mata making those moves. But I think Owens and Walton have the better tires. You can see them on the bottom. But watch Mata rip this top, trying to use that momentum, and they're going to come real close right here.
Oh,
and look at Novella. He's in the spin you spot. Almost got him. Almost got him.
flirting with that no-no spot is Matt Novella, and here we go, Mean Gene for the lead. Jax Duval, that did not take long. Kyle Lynott right there, already getting the lead from Jax Duval, making it quick and immediately ripping the top, probably to try to get a great run out of turn 2 here and drive away from this pack of wild hyenas behind him. And immediately Lynott trying to do his IndyCar draft breaking method that he loves so much. But look at that to the inside. Eric Thornton, who had really drove up to Lynott in a race about a 1 second deficit, now looking here for the lead. The Axis of Evil here, no matter where you look when they include that number 1 car of Eric Thornton, they're back to full strength, Mean Gene.
I think he's going to make that move right here. The outside momentum of Lynott. It's funny. Lynott was trying to chase down Duval, but I think he was more concerned with Thornton that whole time. Thornton finally going to fall into line. You got to imagine after those last 2 runs, the tires of Thornton got a little warm. You can see right there, he's faded back, and now the lap car of 57 of Guerin in between Thornton. So you've got Lynott, lap car, Thornton, Duval. Duval has 5 lap older tires than those guys, so it's going to be difficult for him to make that move back there. Meanwhile, Michael Mata controls that second group. He's got Novella, Winfield, and Owens with him, as well as Alex Hillman drifting just a little bit in the back. And it sounds like Michael Mata is going to bring it in next time. Kevin Kyle as well.
I'll tell you what doesn't help as well. Here comes Thornton bringing it in is Brandon Guerin. Love this guy and love Chantilly Lace, but having the interconnection ran by a gerbil in a cave in Antarctica, this thing is blinking every other lap. Not only does that break the draft, like there it is right there, break dirty air, it just is such a problem around the leaders, and something that, I mean, a lot of storms around the USA in all seriousness today, so I'm assuming that's what Guerin is dealing with in making the best of a bad situation. But my goodness, that is so frustrating at a track like this where dirty air is so important. That looks like that's Kyle Lynott bringing it in. It is. Kyle Lynott going to duck it into pit road here. Oh, boy, getting everything he can on entry. Man, these guys have been just exceptional in entry. If there's one thing I can criticize myself for, Mean Gene, is I don't have the testicular fortitude to do what Lynott just did with that entry. That was impressive.
No, it's much more difficult in these cars as well than you might think. These guys racing in these next-gen cars, definitely some of the more difficult stock cars to maneuver. Right now, Jax Duval is being shown as your race leader, 2.5 second lead over Sean Walton as pits have begun. Right ahead of Duval, you could see John Beverly. Some scary times. Thornton was up there having fun with Guerin and Lynott as well. And then Duval having some fun with the one of Beverly. So lap drivers pushing hard with the race leaders. Really interesting to see in the regular season finale.
Yeah, lap drivers pushing as hard as the pressure you'd see on something like a push bot back in the 90s, Mean Gene. Just extremely hard. Everyone with a different set of agendas right now, especially like with these guys that you're seeing on different lap situations. Here you go with Lynott and Thornton. Both these guys have brought down. Thornton going to use it up right now, get that lead. That is normally what I would do. I'd have had that bite me a million times, and particular to that race car or that race driver that he just passed of Kyle Lynott. That guy knows how to save his stuff, but I get why Thornton would do that. He's had so much speed on the short run today. And also on top of that, Mean Gene, I think this is quite significantly, or if this was to cycle out, our shortest run today. If these guys are going to pit now, right? So you're looking at sub 30 laps. I don't see why you don't just go for it, right?
I would think so, especially the way it's gone green. We've had a couple of cautions, but other than that, it's been wide open. Right now, amazing battle. You can see right there David Owens trying to get a piece of the 23, and he's got the 56 directly behind him. Look how that outside just works so much better. It does wear out those tires, and you can see the 23 just kind of fade up there and then crossover move. Owens is going to dive it down, trying to make his play right now.
Here we go with Owens trying to make a little bit of a slide job move, but that as we get late in this run, these are guys with some of the oldest tires in the field, As you look at them, 1, 2, 3 in our running order right now, that bottom line, Mean Gene, it is gone. It ceases to exist. There is nothing there. Here we go again with Owens going to try to make it work, and the only way you could it would be to slide in front of the 56 like you just did. And I mean, number one, that's not going to make the 56 very happy. And number two, you're going to have no exit speed. So we'll see here. And look at that, Mean Gene.
Look at this, though. They're closing on Walton, even with all the dancing.
Yeah, they are. But what I just saw there from Novella that was quite telling for me was Novella, he could have sent it low, very low in entry there, but he chose not to. Not interested at all. Wanting to kind of run a little bit of a hybrid middle to bottom line like he's doing right now is look at those fresh tires of Michael Mata just blowing their doors off. Goodbye, boys. And this is time you're losing on track that you're not going to get back unless we get a caution. Two sets of agendas here, two sets of strategy here between this group of three and a car like Mata, as you can see just how significant that delta is right there, Mean Gene. And oh my goodness, 3 wide right there with some lappers.
Wow, you can see that orange DeWalt, and he makes contact with Lynott. Nobody making friends out there here today. That's actually a daily driver, number 12. That's Hunter Hall having a little case of the wiggles around the slower.
Oh.
Walton gets split.
Oh, Lynott,
Walton.
Walton.
Hall and Lynott touching each other. Walton and Owen still making it last. I guess your bet is made. You got to ride it until you run out of gas, praying for.
But why though?
So that you can put these guys down.
Yeah,
So
that's the only reason.
In.
But that's gone. Mata got his lap back the hard way. So now if they pit, I mean, Mata could stay out, get that track position, or he could pit with you, and it's all the same. I mean, you're right, Mean Gene. The only, and here comes Walton bringing it in this time. He's seen enough, and I don't blame him. I don't not like the strategy because it's bitten me in the rear end a million times not doing it. But like you said, the only way this works is with a caution. There's no other scenario.
24 laps remaining in the race. So if you pit now, your tires will be golden. You'll have those 10 laps of better tires to end this race. And maybe you can close the gap the way that we saw Thornton and Lynott catch Jax Duvall. But how much further can you risk it? I'm watching Sean Walton. He's in the pit right now, cycling down. He's now going a lap down to Owens and Novella.
Look at that.
To get it back out there. It is just killing him on time. He's falling back to 15th.
That's such enormous track position, Mean Gene, in 23 laps. That's just, I mean, I'd like to be wrong. In my opinion, that's nowhere near enough time.
No, and that's what Owens, Novella, Vulpes, and Medina are all going to fall victim to here, barring caution. Meanwhile, up front, Owens and Novella, they could cause the caution. Yeah. They would not be the recipient of anything.
Why not, I guess?
For their effort. Meanwhile, you can see Jax Duvall ahead of them on the fresher tires. Here comes Lewis and Bolander down into the pits now. They're going to go ahead and get themselves some freshies. Make their day a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's Lewis. Medina still's going to have to bring it down. From what I can see right now, it's Joe Vulpes with the freshest. Well, no, I'm sorry. Joe Vulpes on the same strategy as them. So if this was to cycle through, the leader of this race right now, Mean Gene, I don't think you believe me if I told you. It's Michael Mata. Nailed it. And here we go. I'm sorry. I thought that was going to be Owens bringing it down. I mean, you're 100% right. He's gonna run this thing dry. I'd be surprised to learn if this thing can go, what, 1 or 2 more? Novella, yeah, right. Novella's already brought it down. Novella, that's Matt Novella right there in the pits, getting that 56 car worked on. I would assume, yep. And here it comes. Here's Owens this time. We'll see where they end up, Mean Gene. But where's Bollinger now? 15th. They're gonna be close to each other. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, again, so keeping an eye on certain drivers. Hunter Hall is a driver we're keeping an eye on, trying to catch Winfield. Sean Walton currently being in 11th. He is still ahead of Hunter Hall. Eric Thornton, a guy that he needs to worry about. Thornton up in 6th, but that is a 14-point lead. Not enough positions there, especially with the power of that third place stage finish from Sean Walton. So those guys are still in a I need to win position. And the fellas that you're going to be looking at come to the end of that are going to be Duvall and Thornton, really willing to just throw it all down into a turn to make it happen.
It's Mata, Thornton, and Lanot, the big three that we saw kind of controlling this. Mata kind of enjoying the party. Duvall now a few seconds back, about 3 seconds back from this group. I don't know if Duvall is going to be able to make that up. He did stretch that further. He will actually now. So Jack's kind of flipping the script there. He's going to have the longest or the freshest tires here. We'll see if he can make that 3-lap advantage matter against this group of 3 who has just been lights out all day, especially that one in that 988.
It's less time than they made up.
It is. It certainly
it's
is.
Less. Like he had to they had to make up 4.5. He's only got to make up 3.5.
And here comes Medina to bring it down. So the only one left is Joseph Volpis. Extend. Oh, there he is right there. That was as much as that fuel tank could extend. He is done. So here we go, and this is truly now the race for the win with only 18 laps to go between Michael Mata, Eric Thornton, Kyle Lanot, and Jax Duvall lingering 3 seconds back and all the way back there, 7 seconds, but nonetheless with a great top 5 running position is Alex Hillman.
Yeah, Eric Thornton must win if he wants to make it into the playoffs. That's about the only way that he's going to make it happen. Jax Duvall must win if he wants to make it into the playoffs. That's the only way it's going to happen. And then 7th, Sean Walton holding on. So you can see of these guys, Hunter Hall's down a lap, Thornton, Duvall and Thornton right there in the top 4. Though that's still that gap. He's got to make it up. Duvall, that gap is now down another 0.3 of a second after just 2 laps.
Yeah, so we'll start doing some math as this run goes on for Duvall and let you guys know if mathematically it's going to be possible. Right now, I mean, I'm unbelievably impressed with Michael Mata.
He's burning it.
Yeah.
He's burning it.
He is putting down heaters and he's gapping them a little bit. And on top of that, me and Gene, there is only 1 lap separating these guys on tire freshness, so this is pretty much an even slate. The only tire difference worth bringing up belongs to that 4th place car, that Mean Gene Money VRN Zap Panzarella Zach on Track car of Jax Duvall. He does have a 3-4 lap difference above the cars in front of him. Beyond that, this is just for keeps. And what I think we're also seeing here, me and Gene, is the battle for second very much benefiting the leader in first.
Yeah, Michael Mata, the guy took 3rd place last week. Not enough races run to qualify for the finale, for the playoffs. But Michael Mata always willing to come win a fast race. Behind him, the battle between Thornton and Lanot, not going to help Thornton get into this thing, as those 2 guys are half a second behind Michael Mata, who continues to pull away from those 2. Who he's not pulling away from, Jax Duvall. It's now down to 2.8.
That is significant, me and Gene. So now we're talking 4 tenths. Let's go 4 tenths a lap. So he should be there with about 8 to go. With about 8 to go.
Like my bank account at the casino, it's just getting lower and lower.
Yes, and that's what you want in racing, but not so much at the casino. We have to stop interchanging those parts of our lives so irresponsibly. But yeah, there you go. Jax Duvall down to 2.6 there. I'm assuming we'll be down to 2.4, 2.3. He's got to keep that delta consistent with where it is, and he'll be there with time to spare. We talk about this all the time, Mean Gene. It's a famous saying in racing. It's one thing to catch him. It's another thing to pass him.
Yeah, and Michael Mata is not going to let you buy easy. I mean, and neither's Kyle Lanot either. I've seen Kyle Lanot door a guy from the top trying to get by. So Lanot going to not let that guy buy easily. Eric Thornton knows he's got to win, so he's got to be burning the tires. I would expect to see the fast pace of those 2 guys cost them. But fast pace, how long can Duvall continue to turn these laps?
Yeah, it's a really, really tough balance to strike here if you're the 84 of Duvall. On board with him right now. because it's kind of like a piece of meat in front of a wild animal, right, on a string. You see them, right? We're on board with him. This is what Jax Duvall is seeing in the race car right now, and it feels so close, but it's so far away. And if you get greedy and you start to see that relative go down, that same thing we're seeing also on that 2-second deficit.
Sean Walton, they're touching. Kevin Kyle and Sean Walton, they are touching. This is scary stuff right here. Kyle taps that wall, but he definitely was right up on that no-no spot. Walton not needing to play games. If I'm him, I'm thinking about the big picture. I might just let Kevin Kyle go right on by. But Kyle has pulled up behind Walton, and you can see just how close they are. Still monitoring the Duvall situation. Duvall now 1.89 seconds behind, but if there might be something here.
I'm gonna.
You went and ordered fast food, and you changed the order just one too many times, and that's what we're looking at right here.
We're about
you want onions and red sauce on the side. Oh, wait till you get this burrito.
We're about to cross the line for 9 to go, Mean Gene. I'm beg of these two, specifically these two, do not kill the integrity of another race here at Monday with some nonsense.
Here we go. They're still going. Meanwhile, back, you can see Novella running by himself. Nick Mazza in ninth place, side by side.
Duvall grazes the wall, Mean Gene. Duvall grazes the wall.
It doesn't slow him down.
Maybe a good thing if you're from Florida. You're right. I think I saw that in the news. That's Hunter Hall there in the middle of all this right now. I saw Hunter Hall in the pits a little bit ago, perhaps repairing some damage. Hunter Hall not having the points that he needed to get himself into the playoffs, especially with, you said that these guys need to win, Mean Gene. I don't know. Here's the points on screen. Jax Duvall only 9 out. Eric Thornton only 14 out. These guys, these points days are going to be big for them right now. The second and third place, I mean, I'm not good enough in math to make those assumptions right now, but
Walton finished third in the stage. Andy's running in sixth.
That's big for Walton as well. You are right.
He's way up there. So you gotta win. You gotta win if you want the golden ticket. You can't trust that somebody else is gonna. You can't trust that Kevin Kyle's gonna take care of business.
Here we go.
Ooh, Duvall slowed down.
Oh!
Lanat and he almost come together. Lanat goes up into the wall, and I think that's the door open for the 84 to move into third. And you can see Mata slowly coming into the picture. Duvall catches the middle of the track, accelerates ahead of Lanat, and now it's Eric Thornton in front of him. The second and the third place car must win to go to the playoffs. Michael Mata says, you can all jump off a bridge. I'm going to win, and none of y'all are going.
Jax Duvall, this is going to be a show, Mean Gene, and we talked about it a couple laps ago. It's one thing to catch him, another thing to pass him. He's got to do it, or he had to do it 3 times, 1 down, 2 to go. Eric Thornton up next. That was an aggressive pass by Duvall, but it was all fair game, and he did not get the entrance that he wanted into 1 and 2 due to that kind of slide up he did. There it is again, Eric Thornton with a little bit of struggle on the exit of the corner, almost in the wall, is going to kill his exit speed. Duvall needs to send it in here low. He needs to make quick work of Thornton, and it's only going to be a half second. There it is. Gorgeous slide job by the 84 Duvall, bringing that VRN car up into second place. It is 0.68 seconds and 5 laps to go. Mathematically, there will be more than enough time to get there, and then it's just a matter of getting around Mata. We've seen Mata be an aggressive driver for 2 seasons now, and here he has a chance to win this race, Mean Gene. We are in for a treat. Duvall doing everything he has to do so far. Is there enough?
Making up 2/10 of a second every lap, and he's got Thornton pushing him right now to get closer and closer. If you're Thornton, you can't go side by side. You've got to use the draft of Duvall to try to catch up to the 16, and maybe those two guys will get into it and you can sneak by and get that dub. Look at this though. Mata now hugging the apron as best he can, trying to hold on and run that smoother line. We are about to complete lap 132. There's going to be 3 laps to go as this shootout goes. Mata saves some rubber. Look at that lap time he just turned to try to continue to hold on to this lead. Great racing here. 2 to go, my word.
Michael Mata only 2/10 faster that last lap, like me and Gene said. Definitely saving something. We were seeing 4, 3/10, even 5 sometimes as Duvall started to close this gap. Now, as Mata is going to have 2 to go, That was no gain whatsoever that lap there from Duvall. Did Duvall use up too much getting here to second place, and has Mata saved enough to keep that 84 behind him? There you go, see right there. You're seeing it in the straightaways. You're seeing on corner exit, Mean Gene. That's where the leads are starting to dwindle, but Michael Mata, he is quick through these corners. He has a lap and a half to hold on to get his first win of the season and get himself into these playoffs.
Michael Mata 8/100th of a second slower than Duvall. Duvall
2.5
to run that outside and use that momentum. They are coming around. They're going to take the white flag here.
In the wall.
This thing is going to become real, and then they're going to make it happen. Here it is.
White flag. That wall hit him.
Flag.
That wall hurt him, Mean Gene. That he had it down to 0.25, and now it's back up to 0.24 with Eric Thornton breathing down his neck. He's going to have a half a lap to try to make this work. Can he do it?
I don't know. It's going to be tight right now. It's Thornton trying to give him a little bit of push, trying to draw up into it, going into 3. Right now, Michael Mata with a significant lead. He's going to bring it around 4. Michael Mata in control in front of the grandstands, into the line, and it's Michael Mata with the win. Duvall just could not hold on.
Man, that was dramatic, Mean Gene, and that was just exceptional racing. I'm a sucker for that type of racing. Watching tires fade off, watching how important it's going to be late in a run, and who is the one who gets it done. And honestly, like, he didn't come out of nowhere because he had top 5 speed, but in terms of winning speed, I think he kind of did. Michael Mata, someone who we saw as such an integral point of last season, someone who we thought would race for a championship. Here he is in the last race of the regular season, getting his first win of this season. What a drive by the 16 of Michael Mata, and what a drive by the top 5, if we're being honest.
So your final finish is going to be Michael Mata taking the win, standing on top of the podium. Second place, Jax Duvall. Third, Eric Thornton. Kyle Lynott going to finish 4th. And Sean Walton ends up coming through for that top 5, finishing in 5th place. I'm going to do some math in my head and say, with Mata not having enough races to qualify, that's going to open up that one spot, and Sean Walton should secure that 12th and final playoff position. Matt Novella going to finish 6th, Alex Hillman 7, Kevin Kyle 8, David Owens 9, and Joe Volpus with another top 10 finish. But wow, watching him chase it, it's not fair, is it, either? Because they chased down Duvall when he did it, and then when Duvall gave it a try, he just came up inches too short. What do you think? It was those wall hits, yeah?
It was the wall hits. It was, like I said, having that piece of meat on a stick right in front of you. It's impossible. I can tell you, someone who's been in that situation more times than I'm proud of, it's impossible not to drive the way Duvall did. And also, like we talked about when that run started, Mean Gene, it was too short of a run. It was only about 28 laps, 29 laps of a run. We really saw that get brutal for some of our cars 35, 40 laps in. That's when, if you didn't take care of your stuff, it was quite literally impossible to do anything with it. I just don't think it was enough time. I think Duvall would have done it differently had he had 10 more laps to his disposal. He wouldn't have been so greedy. But easier said than done. I'll say this, Mean Gene. I think Jax Duvall did the best job he could have to have gotten that lead. And I think Michael Mata did the best job he could have to have protected it. And that's why we see those 2 cars in 1st and 2nd.
Great day of racing for everybody. Only a few cautions for us to watch, and those cautions came a little bit early on in the race. We had some great green flag racing, green flag pit stops as well. Points not official yet, but you have to assume on the power of that 9th place finish for David Owens, with Colin Bollinger finishing back in 14th.
That's easy math.
You got to think it's going to be David Owens as your regular season champion. And the other important math, that finals playoff spot would go to Sean Walton on the power of that 5th place finish. And there is the points coming in there.
This is going in, Mean Gene. This is going in. I'm just doing math in my head right now.
Hillman again with already qualified with that win, the power of that win. Alex Hillman shown in the 17th point position. But this was his 9th start, which qualifies him with that win in your in scenario. Right. Jumps up ahead, and then Walton fighting for that 12th and final spot would hold on over Hunter Hall, who finished a lap down. Duvall and Thornton, second and third, really needed the win. Came so close, but great to see those fellas come back for the season finale to run their 9th race and just see how close and how good they really are.
It really also just goes to show how talented this field is. I'm looking at this graphic right now. Shout out Jack Sanders, who made this, I believe, and did a fantastic job. And my goodness, Mean Gene, that top 10 is just unbelievable. It's so hard to make the playoffs in this league. It's so hard to even have a chance to win that championship, much less to bring it home at the end of the season. And yeah, you look from 12th on down, where I do not think any of those drivers will be joining us outside of Hillman for that eligibility. Mind-blowing. Legitimately mind-blowing.
How about this? They have finally updated it. We're looking at official standings now. Owens is officially your regular season champion. Congratulations to the number 11 NAS Ford of David Owens. With the regular season, he is the season 4 champion. Colin Bollinger is going to come up 17 short. Joe Vulpes, 25 short. Tony Iverson is going to finish 4th. Kevin Kyle bumps up ahead of Andrew Bolander.
Wow.
Kevin Kyle going to finish 5th in points behind the power of his 8th place finish. Andrew Bolander 6th. Remember, these are official standings. Jose Medina holds court. Holt takes 7th. Matt Novella and Jack Sanders both jump up. Novella 8, Jack Sanders number 9. Daniel Smith is going to finish 10th in the regular season points. I don't believe he ran today.
Yeah. Who?
Daniel Smith.
No, yeah, I was actually just thinking that as well. I don't think he did either. But
he wasn't worried. He had a win and he had a gap, so he could take one at the bar tonight.
That's what being that good will do for you, me and Gene. So tell me if this sounds good to you. We're gonna hold off our bonus interview.
11th is, of course, Sean Wall.
Yup. And then 12th, Axel Hillman.
And then Hillman makes it in with the power of his win.
Shout out Alex Hillman for that.
What a day. But
what
let's
a day.
Let's get back to the forgotten man.
Yes.
We're talking about points and regular seasons, but the win today, Rick Ware Racing coming through.
Just like they always do. I mean, like real life parallels
Like
sim racing. So closely, Mean Gene.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing to see. And he definitely, I think he held back a little bit to make sure he got that. So who's your bonus interview? Who are we gonna?
I'll tell you who it's gonna be. It's gonna be David Owens because he's our champion. But let's hold it off until inside the Mayham, because Owens will still be around. And also, Mean Gene, I gotta tell you this on the air real quick. We gotta switch channels. We're on the wrong channel. Let's go over to the Moonlight Racing channel and get some winners over here and get our 3rd place. Meet me over there. We're in the BRN channel. Oops. All right, boys. So I'll be bringing our 3rd place with us. First off, it's gonna be. I know. I bet they were like, "Wait, was this not broadcasted?" I was having an internal panic attack there. I mean, Jim, I'm not gonna lie. So I was like, "Oh no, what do we do?" Do you see Eric Thornton anywhere?
Eric Thornton. Let's take a look. He's a high side hustler, and I am not seeing Eric up there. So.
Okay, so let's bring in Owens now.
Going to get interviewed. Well, yeah.
Ooh, or do you want to bring in? Want to bring in Lynott?
I'm gonna bring in. No.
Ooh, all right. Oh, I know. You take this one, Mean Gene.
You know it. We're gonna do 3 interviews. I'm gonna pull one up.
Oh, I know who you're pulling in. And you
know what's about to happen.
You got it, man.
Hey, Sean Walton, are you there, brother?
Hello, yeah.
I'm looking at them final points, and guess who's the 12th driver in the playoffs this year?
I think Colin Bollinger.
He's a little bit higher than that. You are, my friend. Congratulations. Hell of a run today, Sean. You showed some amazing speed. Were you saving tires to go lower than other people? Because it looked like you were on the same tire strategy as folks, but you had the ability to hug that apron. Were you saving tires, or are you just maintaining temperature? What's the logic going into that to make those big moves?
Yeah. I was just, on the long run, I was praying there wasn't a caution because we only got 3 sets, so I was just saving my time, being patient. and then I would catch people and just go by, like pass them without like needing to actually work. And then I decided to late pit, which kind of counts for me over. I could have got a better finish if I didn't late pit. But yeah, the tire saving, I felt like I did a pretty good job there. Started 18th, finished 5th. I mean, it was a pretty solid day. Glad I'm in playoffs. It would have been nice, but playoffs is always good.
Well, that's the advantage of having the season that you did. You weren't forced into that must-win scenario. You were able to drive a smart race and avoid the trouble. There were a couple of times you got 3 wide, though, and you were the fellow in the middle. Had to be a little bit nerve-wracking. Was there any singular moment out on the track where you thought, oh no, this might be my day? It might be over?
Yeah, that first caution where they died going into 1, I almost got clipped. And I thought it was going to be it after that.
Yeah, definitely a close call out there watching as it was the end of the day for a couple of guys, but you managed to continue to push that 23 Toyota up through the field. And also the stage there, scoring that 3rd at the end of the stage, that had to make you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Colin, and he told me to take tires because I needed the points on that first caution. So I took the tires, but I saved a little bit off the restart. So and the guys who pushed, I reeled them back in, got up to 4th, and then on the last lap coming to the checker, Duval pitted, which gave me an extra spot, which is pretty good for me. And yeah, I mean, I needed the stage points. I got them. It was hard. I fought hard for them because, I started in the back, and just had to work my way up.
Well, it was exciting to watch out there, Sean. Really glad to see you there. Congratulations, and excited to see you move forward into the playoffs. Next week, it will be a heck of a day as we are going to bring it into Homestead. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we go?
Shout out Colin Bollinger, Andrew Bollander, Joe Tibbetts, my boys. Shout out LeBron, always got to shout out LeBron.
Shout out LeBron James, bro.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah, for real.
Well, good stuff out there today.
One more
Can't
thing.
wait to see you.
I love you. Solo!
Hell yeah. Jacob Fatu is the GOAT.
Yes, sir.
I love it. Good stuff out there today, man. Go have yourself a cold one. You earned it.
Thank you.
All right. I'm a sucker for his information on his SDK.
Yeah, you love the solo?
I love you, Solo. Love it.
All right, who got
Get
some-
me my Florida man.
It's you want the Florida man.
Yeah.
Go.
Jack's the Vol. We got you, buddy.
What's up?
Oh man, thank you. I mean, whenever there's a Jack's the Vol, in the field, there's a show to be had, and you put on one today, man. So let's start it off from the beginning of the race. Take me through your short pit in the beginning. I think it was the second run.
Yeah, second pit stop. I just undercut it, see if I can gain some ground on them, burned up the tires. So I figure if I can get out front, save some more tires, I'll be there at the end.
So that second run was kind of flipping the script entirely and taking what you learned and trying to make it work. So what do you think you needed to have gotten by that 16 Mata today?
More practice, honestly. I didn't have a clue coming into this race what to do. Yeah, I know how this track runs. Slow lines going to save tires, high lines faster.
Well,
But I just couldn't catch them.
you were still one of the fastest cars out there today, Duvall. Really, really impressive drive. Super, super fun to watch, and definitely made the ladder about 10 laps of that race incredibly exciting. And then from a personal perspective, probably speaking for me and Gene here, that paint scheme means a ton. I know Swingle designed it, so shout out to him, and thank you for running that. That generally means a lot, so thank you so much. And it was really cool to see it running out front today and getting to cover that car. And thank you so much, Jax, and such an important part of MRL, and really cool to see that love given back. So thank you very much for that from me personally. It really means a lot to me. But great job today. Someone who almost won the championship here last year, a matter of milliseconds, and always picking up where you left off, Jack. So what's the plan for the rest of the season this year? And anyone you want to give a shout out to before you're out of here? As I think you're going to be barely on the outside looking in on the playoffs this season.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Personal things got in the way. But no, thank you to Swingle for making this paint scheme. I'm proud to run it. You guys put on a hell of a show every week, and I appreciate Zach and me and Gene. I appreciate you guys. And through the rest of the season, I'm just going to run them hard. And if we don't make the playoffs, not a big deal. I'm still going to race these guys 100%.
I'll say I think me and Gene, from our perspective, I prefer a non-playoff Jack's the Ball in terms of just like entertainment factor, because this guy's going to put on a show, and we saw it today. Great drive today, Duval, and again, thank you so much for the recognition. It means a ton to us, and we look forward to seeing you for the rest of this season and other leagues we'll be covering. Always fun covering you. Great job today, man.
Thank you, guys.
So
Right.
close.
So close. So close to getting that VRN car and that race-winning diecast produced by Lionel.
I mean, just that stupid wall.
But now Rick Ware, who never gets diecast made, literally ever, is gonna
Oh,
be a race
and
winner,
then there was one. Michael Mott, are you there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about Thornton needs to win and get in. We're talking about Jax Duval needs to win and get in. And yet, there you are up there. You got a Cougar on the hood running that Rick Ware paint scheme. How you feeling, brother?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought a Rick Ware racing car would win a race?
You, clearly, right?
See? Hey.
You gotta believe in yourself. You know,
Oh,
are
yeah.
you gonna look under the car and find out it's just a bag of Lucky Charms, or are you just gonna keep believing and running like this?
I think the scheme's coming off next week. It is a cool looking scheme though. I like the gold wheels.
Well, you've put together a heck of a string of finishes here. Of course, not enough starts on the season to qualify for the playoffs, but definitely letting the entire field know that MC Motorsports has the speed to win, specifically that 16 car. At what point, you know, Jax Duval went with that short pit the first time and had that big lead. Were you thinking with you short pitting him that might come back and haunt you?
I was a little worried, but for the first time ever in practice, I ran a full run, pit, took right sides, and saw how the times were. It was only 2/10 off my fastest. So I took a 2-tire stop there. And I jumped the leaders and had clean air.
Well, once you had that clean air too as well, just going to be hard to catch you as you just put on a heck of a display. Almost felt like you were saving a little bit of something for him also when he
Yep.
caught up.
I did.
One of those last laps, you actually ran 2/100ths of a second faster once you got within range. Was that in your playbook?
Yeah, I if you notice the whole race, I ran the bottom. I did the top a little just to pass, but the bottom, it was just, you were able to save tires, and it cycled around near the end so much compared to the guys. It was just hard to pass. But I had the stream on. I heard you guys talking about Duval. He was going to catch with about 8 laps to go, and I got worried.
Oh.
So I was like, I got to just run the bottom. I just got to save as much tire as I can. Keep those guys behind me, give them as much dirty air as I could. I saw they get side by side. I was like, all right, this is perfect. Every time they get side by side right behind me, I arrow block the guy in the bottom so we get tight up to the guy ahead. And I was just able to keep that about 4/10 gap. And once
Whoops.
Duval get to them, and he got by the first guy. First guy let him by, and then he struggled with the second guy. I knew I had it because Duval, we were running about even lap times, like you guys were saying.
So I'll send you an invoice for crew chief Bill, Michael Mata.
Yeah, clearly. I feel like Geraldo Rivera during
I feel a
the
little
Gulf
guilty.
War,
I didn't know you were
giving
listening.
away the position
So
of
we
the
were.
unit.
I think we were right, right? Did he catch you with 8 to go?
No, he never caught me.
Yeah. Oh.
But no, I have on mine. I have everybody's last 5 lap times.
Oh, okay.
So I knew he was like way faster. I saw he was like 2/10, and I was like, well, guess we'll see what happens.
Okay, good. I felt a little bit guilty there, Mean Gene.
No.
No,
Yeah.
that's that software right there, bud. That's that software and that telemetry and the ability to multitask and just pay attention to multiple things all at the same time. Shifting gears here, I got to ask you, one race short of making the playoffs, but let's look at your last three finishes. Dover, we come in fourth.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. So Indianapolis, we're going to get third. And then today at Chicagoland, we're going to go on and take home a trophy. What's the mindset there? Like,
if you notice,
what can you do in the playoffs? Are you going to keep your own little scorecard?
Maybe. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it. I'm going to the Coke 600. It's a championships race right after, so it is a little bit of like what could have been. Some of my best tracks, Phoenix and Nashville in there. I don't know. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna win them.
That's all you can ask. Now, moving forward, though, we are talking about doing the 12 race season and then the 7 race playoff, 19 weeks. That would actually get us one more playoff after the regular season ends. So you'll get that opportunity to do a whole season and not miss out. And we look forward to seeing that opportunity to get Michael Mata back into that playoff run. Anybody want to give a shout out to here today?
I got to shout out Rick Ware Racing for giving me the fastest car they've ever brought to the track. A great call to my crew chief for putting 2 tires on it, getting in front.
Rick knows best.
Rick knows best. Replaced Cody today. I think it's all in the car, though.
I think the
it's all in the
problem
car.
always was Cody Ware, obviously. Like,
Obviously, yeah. Got to shout out my teammates, Bobby Ware and Johnny Ware.
The brothers, the other brothers.
God. Don't forget your
Johnny
brother.
couldn't make it.
Your rapper brother, too. Who's the other one?
Oh, Cisco Ware.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cisco Ware, check him out. Yeah, we're having fun with this Ware thing.
Yes,
Thank God for it.
Stinson, was Stinson one of your teammates early on as well, and he made a brief appearance?
No, not quite.
He's
He
not,
was the Venom guy.
he's not part of the bloodline, me and Gene. He's not aware.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Sacred.
shout out to the guys. We have fun in this league. The one we look forward to the most. Thanks for you guys putting the stream on, and thanks for the league for putting the races on. It's just so much fun. They're late at night, but you can't miss this action. This league is awesome.
Nice, thank you, sir. Go have yourself a cold one, buddy. You earned it. Congratulations once again. Michael Mata is your champion here at Chicagoland. The regular season finale is won by the number 16 MC Motorsport Ford. Congrats, buddy. Have a good night.
Congrats, my man.
Thanks. You too.
Wow. Well, that's going to wrap up our regular season. Some amazing racing all year long. Lots of green flag racing here today, Zach, on the MRL Broadcasting Network. But hey, we got another network to talk about, don't we?
We do. So we are going to be moving over to VRN in about 10-15 minutes to do some Inside the Mayhem, and Mean Gene won't sound like a robot today, and if he does, send me all the hate mail, not him. That's my fault.
What do you mean?
That would have been better. But also, make sure, join us on VRN, though, for Inside the Mayhem, and while you're there, give it a subscribe, because all you have to do is subscribe, and you'll be entered to win this grand prize, which is a 124 Bowman autographed diecast. We got some autographed Terry the Bunny trading cards, Daniel Dye Race Huge Sheet Metal, who is a MRL roster member. He is in the Xfinity Series. He's raced there 4 or 5 times, so that's why.
He got some camera time this weekend, didn't he?
I think he may have. Oh, he always
He
does.
got wrecked.
He always. They love him on FS1, and I'm like, that's our guy. That's our guy. But yeah, Daniel Dye, not even as random as it seems. Custom iRacing paint scheme from Jared Kelly. Incredible stuff. If you ever see him on here sometimes, and also on Sundays at BRL, always repping a gorgeous paint scheme. I believe Kevin Kyle's paint week after week is designed by him as well, so that's what to expect. Speaking of, you get a gift card to Kevin Kyle. You hear me and Gene talk a lot about those beautiful trophies that Kyle makes. They are one of a kind, and that will give you a head start on your first big accomplishment in league racing, and have a memento to show for it. And then some merch from VRN, Daily Drivers Inc., and Salmon Amateurs our sponsors and and the channel themselves, VRN. That's where we're going to be moving over this league along with a few others next season. And today was hopefully a good preview showing you guys what we're working on, the technology that we have invested in, and the amazing people behind this company that have made all these things possible, like those awesome drone shots we had today that me and Mean Gene, while producing them, were drooling over. That was awesome. But what we're also going to be doing at VRN to take things a step further and give these leagues the respect they deserve, because these guys put so much effort forth to show up every week. Like you heard Mata say, this is not a early race for the guys over in the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, and it's late for me. So shout out to all of them. They deserve more, and that's what VRN's been giving you guys. And that is what we're going to be doing after this right here, and what we're going to be going live on with VRN. And so let's talk a little bit about this, Mean Gene.
Inside the Mayhem. That's right. We're going to do 30 minutes of a post-race show and take a look at the playoffs. We're going to look at what just happened in the race, and we're going to have on tonight's episode the regular season champion, the Godfather, David Owens, is going to make himself available as well to talk about how his season is gone and how the playoffs are going to line up. Maybe even take a little look at the tracks and see what his prediction is. And Zach and I will make a couple of picks for our dark horses and our long shots and our favorites going into that playoff picture. So we're going to be on VRN here in just about 20 minutes-ish.
Fair.
Maybe about 12:15. A little bit before 12:15. And it'll just be a quick little wrap-up of what we've seen and give you the opportunity to go ahead and subscribe to that channel so you'll get the updates of when we go live. We'll be live on Mondays, and we'll have rebroadcasts on Sunday, Wednesday, and maybe even Friday show.
Don't forget Thursday too,
and
yeah.
Friday.
We are
Thursday trucks.
Busy
And
bees.
we'll be doing a Fridays as well. So lots of action going to come on VRN. Go ahead and get subscribed so you can get them notifications and see all the action live as called by me, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Dalton Geyer, Buddy Sully, Kevin Kyle, Joe Volpus, more and more people coming on board of this exciting venture.
Yeah, we are very, very lucky to have the team that we have. And I can tell you guys from someone inside the company, we are building an all-star team over there, me and Gene. It's ridiculous the amount of talent we have over there. And we're just so excited to have you guys all be a part of this. And the only reason this idea came to light for everyone was to elevate every league that we have the privilege of covering, whether it be BRL, MRL, or the DDI Racing League, which you guys will be learning more about. And we'll talk a little bit about that in this post-race show. But excited to give you guys a taste of that and what it's going to be like. So make sure it gets subbed up. It's a youtube.com/@Vortex Racing Network, which is what VRN stands for, Vortex Racing Network. And check us out, or also just go back, and that QR code you guys saw in that giveaway flyer will also take you straight to the channel. We'll be there in about 20 minutes to join you guys. But before we do that, I also want to shout out this league and not overlook how incredible of a regular season this was. All the drivers who showed in week and week out. Before we had the privilege of being able to cover this league, it wasn't doing the numbers it was today, week in and week out, the way it is now with 20, 25 plus drivers all the time. And not just that, but incredible drivers that are putting on amazing shows and really just making this a show worth watching. It isn't just me and Mean Gene. It's not me and Mean Gene. It's you guys on the track. We'd be very boring if it wasn't for the incredible drivers out there putting it on the line. And yeah, if you're in the East Coast, showing up at 11 p.m. to start the race, which means a ton to us. So second regular season that we have gotten to do together, and it's gone by incredibly fast, too fast. But my goodness, I had the best time in the booth with you, Mean Gene. I had the best time covering this awesome league. And I use the word privilege a lot because it truly is one, to be the guy who gets to put these moments in time with these awesome race car drivers.
Yeah, you gotta love being a part of some league like this where you just see these guys putting it out there week after week, racing as hard as they can, going for these wins. And again, what a class act by all the drivers today. Green flag runs, green flag pit stops in that regular season finale. Cannot wait to see what happens. First round of races for the playoffs going to be Homestead, Talladega, and Kentucky. So Homestead, Talladega, Kentucky will be the next three races. Going to see some amazing stuff. For now, though, we're going to wrap it up from Chicagoland. Once again, we watched as Michael Mata powered his way home. Eric Thornton and Jax Duval coming up just a little bit short into their quest to make the playoffs. Michael Mata taking the win, that number 16 car. Beautiful Rick Ware Racing scheme, and he is in victory lane. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, our sponsors, Chantilly Lace, KK Woodworks, DDI, the admins, John Beverly, Joe Vulpes, Steve Fugay, and David Owens. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down. See you in 20.
Clean my throat.